What's up, people? Alright, so today we're going to be putting away my 1994 Honda Del Sol. So this guy is going to be stored in this garage for the winter time. So in today's video, we're going to be going over some basic steps on how to prepare your car for storage. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is get the gas tank right up to the full level. So we're going to hop in the car, head over to the gas station, fill her up, and get her right back here. I really haven't driven her much since I filled her up last, so yeah, $4 to get her to the top. Okay, so after step one of getting the car filled up to the top with gas, step two is we're gonna get the tires to the max PSI. This will stop them, or at least prevent them as much as possible from developing flat spots over the winter. Okay, so we've got gas in the car, up to the top. We've got the tires at max inflation. Now before we pull it in the garage to let it sit, we're just going to add a little bit of fuel system stabilizer to help that gasoline not break down over the winter time. So there's a formula to put the right amount in depending on the amount of liters that your tank is. So I've been doing this a while with this car, I know what it is. We'll get this poured into the gas tank and then we'll get her pulled into the shop and we'll continue on with the process. Okay, so we got the car inside the garage. Now the next step of what I usually like to do is I put one of these moisture grabbers inside the cabinet of the car. Now what this does, if there's any moisture in the air from it sitting over the winter time, it makes sure this bag will absorb it and it doesn't get into the electronics or start to rust or corrode anything inside the cabin. So we're gonna get this guy opened up. And it's just a giant desiccant bag, like you'd find in sneakers or any kind of products that you get. So we'll get the plastic open. Kind of fluff the bag out. And what I do is just usually let it sit on the box and then place it on the passenger floor of the car. Reason why I leave it on the box, just in case there's any transfer to materials in the car. We don't want to have any staining, so this gives us a little bit of a barrier, but still allows it to do its job. So we'll get into the car. All right, so we've got the moisture pack installed in the car, so that's going to help suck up all that residual moisture from over the winter time. Next thing we're going to do is, because this is a garage and it's not directly attached to a house and it may not be rodent sealed, we're going to add these moth ball packets to different places in the car to keep a deterrent for rodents, to make sure our interior doesn't get chewed up, our wires don't get chewed up, all that kind of terrible stuff that can really destroy a car really quickly. So we're going to open this guy up. Easier said than done. Oh boy. Well, that didn't work out well. Little teeth again. Yeah, there we go. Good. I think you put mothballs in your mouth. And inside, you get these small packets here. Now the nice thing about them, these aren't like grandma's old mothballs where they just stink. These kind of smell like urinal pucks. So, well, it's not a pleasant odor, it's not terrible as well. Now I've been using these for years and they do not stain interior, so you can kind of put them on anything you want and you shouldn't have any issues with them. If you are concerned with it, again, put a little bit of cardboard or a plate or something down on the inside and that should alleviate any fears. But I have been putting them in this car for 4 years now and I've had not one stain on them. So I just kind of place them in different places around the inside of the car. And that should about do it for the inside there. Now, it's not an overwhelming smell, but what it will do is just deter, the smell is supposed to deter the rodents from getting inside. So the second thing we're gonna do now is with the rest of the pack, we're gonna put them under the hood. This will prevent them from chewing up any of the wires, which are basically the veins and intelligence of this car. So we're gonna pop the latches. Oh boy. You'd think I'd know how to open my own hood by now. There. And we'll just place some in different places around the engine.
Okay, roll.
Okay, so the next big thing you can deal with, the next thing that you really got to deal with is the battery. If you just leave the battery hooked up all winter time, it's going to go dead and kill your battery. It'll be requiring replacement in the spring, and it's an unneeded expense. So there's really two options that you've got with this. If you own an older car that doesn't have computers, like a 70s muscle car or something like that, you can easily just disconnect the negative terminal of the battery to kind of get by. But ideally, what you should be doing is using this. This is a battery maintainer. Now, what this maintainer will do is just keep a steady flow of electricity to the battery, not overcharging it and not allowing it to drop below the 12.5 volts that the battery is supposed to be at. Now, you can get them with clamps. I leave this one permanently connected, so we're going to run an extension cord to the tender, plug it in, and that's all we have to do. Okay, so you can see the red light came on. That means this battery is at a low state of charge. I haven't really driven it in a while, so it's not surprising. So that will go green when it's charged and go red when it's not. It will just alternate on and off throughout the entire winter, which is exactly what we want it to do. So we're pretty much done with under the hood. We're going to just allow it to close, but not latch. That's all we need to do there. All right, so one super important thing that you want to never do when storing a car is use the parking brake. You want to make sure that parking brake is in a relaxed position. So to keep the car in place, you'll just want to put a set of wheel chocks over one of the wheels. Simple, easy, and it will save you from having seized parking brake cables and seized calipers come the spring when you take the car out of storage. Okay, so we're almost at the final steps, which is putting the car cover on the car. But what we want to do is not leave the windows all the way up and not leave them all the way down either. This just allows a little bit of airflow to move through the car to prevent any stale air and allows any moisture inside to escape that's not being absorbed by that desiccant pack. And in my case, we're going to remove the steering wheel.
Security, bro.
This is the best security feature you can get for a car, as it's very difficult to steal this thing with no wheel attached to it. Okay, so the car is pretty much all set to go. The last step we have to do is put the car cover on it. Now, even though it's being stored inside, the car cover will prevent any dust from settling on it over the winter time, or if anything tends to knock over or fall into it, it's going to keep that paint protected. So we'll get the cover stretched over, and that'll be it. All right, so the car cover's on. Now, this is purely an indoor cover. This won't work if you're going to be leaving the car outside. If you're storing a car outside for the winter, it's a similar process. A couple variances on it, but you will want to get a better cover than this. But other than that, the dull sole is covered. It is topped up with fuel. The battery's being taken care of. The tires are going to prevent flat spots. We've got our rodent and moisture deterrents in it, and this thing is ready for the winter. So it's a sad day whenever our cars go away, but making sure they're stored properly will mean less work in the spring and a lot more enjoyment. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you've learned something on how to store your summer car properly for the winter. I've been doing this for years with great success. All you've got to do in the spring is put the steering wheel on, remove the stuff we did, close the hood, turn the key, and she's always fired right up. So, have a great weekend. I know it's a sad day for you, but the snow will eventually melt. Make sure to like and subscribe. We've got some really cool content coming. I know the cards are going away for the winter, but we promise we've got a ton of fun stuff. We're going to keep you entertained all winter time until these cards are back out again. So, thanks for watching. Nasty Nate, hit that B-roll.